Externally, the slowdown global growth will slow down the demand for the regional export on energy and non-energy commodities. And the financial volatility obviously increase the volatility external shock to the region. Particularly, the capital flow can be very volatile, and the region still very much depends on the external capital flow as well. We observed in the past few years, capital flow dramatically moving to the emerging market and move out. For example, move out 2008, move in 2009, and move out 2011, and recently move in again. So capital flow can be very volatile. And internally, continuous diversification, I think, is still the key challenge for the region, as the President mentioned in his speech. I think it's absolutely important issue as well. And to make sure the financial sector is stronger and healthy to prepare a possible external shock is also absolutely important challenge for the region as well. Now, what fund can do to be helpful? We commit ourselves to the region, and we expand our surveillance from pure current account to more macro policy to help our members to assess the macroeconomic situations. We developed a more flexible instruments to give the members support. For example, before, we always have after-crisis instruments. When you have a crisis, we move in to help them. Today, we have a proportional liquidity facilities. We have a flexible credit liquidity to help the members to have the program before they see the situation getting worse. So we really move in, and we double in our resource for low-income country to $1.7 billion as well. And we do more spillover report, try to help and for the region and country, and to understand what is the global situations. So that's the reason also I'm here. I had a very good meeting with Mr. President and with the Prime Minister to exchange views about the country, about the global, and about the region as well. As our chairman mentioned, for the global monetary system, I think it's absolutely important to maintain the global monetary system stable and to maintain the global monetary system reflect the proper economic changing and a proper economic growth. So we're working very hard to do the new reform on the monetary system as well. We carry out the 2010 quarter reform. We very much want to be able to complete this reform. And we are starting a new round of quarter formula reform discussion already. I agree with Mr. President. He mentioned a stable, a reliable global monetary policy is absolutely important for everyone in this war. For this regard, I appreciate this conference to bring all the people from the war to this place to discuss the war situation. And I will also appreciate our host country, Kazakhstan, the contribution to this conference as well. Thank you very much.
We now turn to our last speaker, the Nobel Prize-winning economist Robert Mundell. Professor Mundell has actually been a key and consistent presence here at the forum, I believe, since its start, and he has been a very active supporter of President Nazarbayev's currency system reform initiatives. So, on behalf of all the scientists participating here at the Astana Forum, and indeed from all of us, welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here, and a little awesome to speak after such 6 wonderful speeches. This is, last year I guess was the 20th anniversary of the founding of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and it's the 10th anniversary of the city of Astana, we're in now, and the 5th anniversary of the forum. For the world economy, a couple of big events happened in the last couple of years. One of them is that trade among the developing countries began to equal for the first time in their succeeding trade in the developed countries. And the second anniversary is the watermark, if you like, is the urbanization factor. That last year, urbanization of the world became exactly 50%, so half rural and half urban. Now, each one of those have different implications. Of course, the growth of the developing countries' trade means that there has to be some change in the power relations of the developing countries relative to the advanced countries. That's been gradually taking place, and there's been some movement of that in the IMF, and it certainly has to be more of it. Another aspect of it will be that now China became the number 2 country in the world as a nation, and the RMB became the number 3 currency area after the dollar and the euro, and that has significance. Very important significance would be that the RMB should be introduced into the SDR, which includes the dollar, of course, and the euro, and the yen, and the pound sterling, but doesn't include China. And I think at some point it might have to, or should include with the GDP of Russia moving forward, that it should consider whether the ruble should be a candidate for entering it. But definitely China is, despite the fact that the RMB is not convertible, it could be easily made quickly convertible for central banks, and it could be used as a reserve currency. Of course, it couldn't really become an important reserve currency until it became more available. The way a country becomes a reserve currency is that it has to run deficits, and China's been running surpluses for the past time, so it could only achieve the status of a reserve currency country in the world like the U.S. if it began to run deficits. Now, the President Nazarbayev has mentioned the issue of the problem of the international monetary system. And I know he had discussions with President Sarkozy, as you mentioned, of this. And